It's 2 in the afternoon.
Keep the faith, internet radio. The home for great soul, lost soul in Motown. This is Friday afternoon. This is Friday afternoon. Soul Avenue, Soul Avenue. This is Friday afternoon. Soul Avenue, Soul Avenue. This is Friday afternoon. Soul Avenue, Soul Avenue, Soul Avenue.
And now on Keep the Faith Internet Radio, we take a stroll down the Soul Avenue. And here's your host, Bob Hutchins.
Soul Avenue.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome along to Keep the Faith Internet Radio. This is Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue. I'm Bob Hutchins with you until 4 o'clock this afternoon when the crazy one takes over. Yes, John Nutty Butty Stewart with a Friday Drive Time Soul. He's tuned in, I believe. I can see him. Yeah, he is. He's... Well, I can't see him, but I can hear him. Yeah. Oh dear. Could be a long, long afternoon. Not as long as the 2 hours that follows me, mind. That goes on forever, doesn't it? Right. Well, it's lovely and warm here in Bedfordshire. I don't know what it's like with you. The sun's shining. Everyone's in a good mood. So let's get going with the show, shall we? Going to start with Floyd Henley and Believe in Me. Keep the Faith Internet Radio getting us underway on this lovely Friday afternoon. That was Floyd Henry and Believe in Me on Casmo Records from June 1968, composed by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. Everyone, of course, remembers Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff's 70s tunes, but boy, did they make some great, pen some great tunes in the 1960s. This is Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue. I'm Bob Hutchins. Welcome along. Here's Ruth Brown. I burned your letter. Definitely should have been the A-side, that. Ruth Brown, I Burned Your Letter. B-side to Don't Deceive Me on Atlantic Records, released in February of 1960, arranged by Reggie Obrecht and composed by Van McCoy. It was recorded on the 30th of September 1959 in Atlantic Studios in New York. The UK edition released the 8th of April 1960, and Record Retailer looked at that one the day before on the 7th. Well, Butty's containing himself. No messages yet. I've got the page open, ready to receive them. Hopefully, he's going to be a good boy this afternoon. Well, good news. He's going on holiday soon. Yeah, last minute, he said. Not that last minute, mind. Last minute to me is you book it on a Friday and fly out Saturday morning, Butty. That's last minute. You're listening to
Bob Hutchins, live on Keep the Faith in Internet Radio.
This is the showman on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Need Love. There you go, the showman for you, and Need Love, which was a B-side to A Little Bit, in brackets, of Your Love. Released, I presume, after they left Swan Records, because this one came out on Jokers 3 in 1967, composed by Norman Johnson, and apparently the white label of that record is the second issue. It was a label out of Greensboro in North Carolina, known under various titles, The Jokers 3 and Jokers 3 Productions Inc. There was no UK release of that vehicle. Well, I'm looking at the temperature, 28 degrees here in the studio. It just doesn't reach that normally, not this time of September, but I think probably this could be the last swan song down the south of England before the weather changes again. You're listening to Keep the Faith Internet Radio. I'm Bob Hutchins. Welcome along. Here's Off and Back. It's Judy in Disguise with Glasses. There you go, that was Off and Back and Judy in Disguise with Glasses. Came out on Paula Records in January 1968, produced by Stan Lewis, arranged by Andrew Bernard and composed by John Fred and Andrew Bernard. There was no original UK edition of that, although it did get released on the 5th of July 1974 by Surrey International Records. I wonder who they are. Hello? 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 Come on, answer it.
Well, Bobby, it's very hot in there because it's all the hot air you're spouting. That's what I think anyway, and I'm sure everyone else does.
Oh, is that butty bloke again? Yeah, he reckons it's my fault that it's hot in the studio here. Perhaps it is, who knows? Something about hot air. Well, turn the other way, butty. I know where the hot air's coming from.
And now, two tunes from 1970 onwards.
Starting with this one from SOUL. It's called This Time Around. There you go, vocal group called Soul, spelt out in initials, and this time around released on Musical Records from March 1973. Lead vocals were Larry Hancock. It was produced and arranged by Bobby Massey and Richard Shan and composed by Alfonso Boyd and Bobby Massey, recorded at the Groove even Sound Studio in New York. You're listening to Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Here's Bobby Cutchins. Same name as me, he told me, except his begins with a C and mine begins with an H. It's called I Did It Again. Yeah, Bobby Cutchins and I Did It Again. A-side on Lasso Records from 1977, arranged by John Edwards, backing vocals produced by or provided by Yvette Davis. The producer was Al Ford, composed by Bobby himself, along with arranger John Edwards. It's 25 past 2 on a Friday afternoon here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Keep the faith in the radio.
Yeah, here's Donny Elbert and Your Red Wagon. Yes, Butty, it is a tablet. Donny Elbert there on Gateway Records here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio with Your Red Wagon in open and closed brackets. You can push it or pull it. Came out in July 1965, produced by Donny and John Cavatello. It was composed by Celestine Dallas, Donny Elbert and John Cavatello. In the UK, when it was released on Sue Records on the 10th of September that year, it was just called You Can Push It, in brackets, or Pull It. The UK edition had Lily Lou on the B-side, whereas in the States it had Never Again. So I'd like to say good afternoon to Lardy up in Loughborough. We got Nutty Butty tuned in fabulous Bonnie, Scotland. Barry's tuned in. Good afternoon, Barry, down in Slough. Not sure if Wendy's home or not, but I'll say good afternoon to Wendy just in case. And who else have we got? Let's have a look. Can I see on here? Yeah. Got Steve Cooper tuned in as well as another unknown listener on Mixcloud. Good afternoon to those listening on Alexa and all the various apps out there. This is Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue. Here's the Shepherd Brothers, and if she don't want you to have it, you can't get it. Yep, that's true. The Shepherd Brothers, and if she don't want you to have it, you can't get it. A-side on Mojo Records out of Georgia from 1969. Produced by Calvin Arnold, it was composed by that well-known ventriloquist, Charles Gear, also known as Gotler. You're listening to
Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue. On Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Here's the Exciters and the original Do What Did He? Keep the Faith Internet Radio, the Exciters and Do What Did He, released on United Artists Records from November 1963. Came out January 64 here in the UK, composed by Ellie Greenwich and Jeff Barry. Here's Sandy and the Pebbles. He's my kind of fella. Not mine, hers. Sandy and the Pebbles here on Keep the Faith, and He's My Kind of Fella. A-side on Mercury Records from October 1967, produced by Art Polhemus and Bob Wilde, composed by Johnny Bristol and Harvey Fuqua. Well, we're just a month away from another event that a couple of Keep the Faith Internet Radio DJs will be performing at. Let me tell you about it now.
Harpenden Soul Club presents a fantastic evening of Northern Soul and classic Motown on Saturday the 18th of October 2025 from 7:30 p.m. until midnight. Great wooden dance floor and all music played on original record releases. Your DJs for the evening are Alan Fox, Bob Hutchins, Sean Haywood, David Sanders and Andy Bebbington. So, come and join us at Bennett's Club, 21 Leighton Road, Harpenden, AL5 2HU. Priced at just £6 on the door.
The Motown Double Play on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
This is Danny Hernandez and the Ones. It's called One Little Teardrop. Yeah, Danny Hernandez and the Ones and One Little Teardrop, released on Rare Earth Records on the 16th of September 1970, produced by Bob Baldoni and composed by Danny himself. There was no UK issue of that one. This is Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Here's the Isley Brothers. Ain't that real satisfaction? There you go. That was the Isley Brothers and Ain't That Real Satisfaction? Just one of a couple of tracks on a particular album that's the only way you can get them on vinyl. That was taken from the album Tamla Motown Presents the Isley Brothers, released on the Music for Pleasure label here in the UK in May of 1972, composed by William Stevenson. Now the MFP label, of course, was owned by EMI, who also released the Tamla Motown label here in the UK. And when I was second chef at the Licensed Victualers Homes in Denham, we used to do all the functions there for EMI, Christmas parties, etc. And they always brought loads of records with them for the staff to have. And I used to always aim for anything that had Motown on it. You're listening to
Music 24 hours a day.
Good morning to Michael Cortorano. This is the Soul Communicators, those lonely nights. The Faith Internet Radio, that was Little Ann and What Should I Do, released by Kent Records in 1998, composed by Dave Hamilton, Roni Darrell and Anne Bridgeforth. Anne Bridgeforth, of course, being Little Ann. And it was from the compilation CD, Dave Hamilton's Detroit Dancers, which was also released on Kent Records. Now, Little Ann's song was originally covered up in the early 1980s as being Rose Valentine, When He's Not Around, played on a one-off acetate. I'm wondering if that was at Stafford. I wouldn't know for sure, but I'm sure someone out there would be able to tell me. This is Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue. Time for the Soul Communicators and these lonely nights. Sorry about the gap. Thought I saw a bus coming. Yeah, Soul Communicators for you there on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Chuck Colby on lead vocals. Those Lonely Nights, released by Phoebe Records in 1968, composed by Chuck along with Cleveland Martin and Glenn Phillips. I told you about one event that's happening in October. Let me tell you about another one. This one is next year. It's been organised by Steve O'Brien.
Keep the Faith Internet Radio proudly presents an evening of Northern Soul and Motown on Saturday, the 18th of April 2026, from 7 p.m. through to 12:30 at the Kettering Athletic Club, 104 Rockingham Road, Kettering, NN 169AE. Your hosts are Marco Martinelli and Carl Boddington, with DJs Bob Hutchins, Steve O'Brien, Tommy Gunn, Andy Bebbington, Dave Bransgrove and Soulful Sue. Priced at just £6 on the door, this is an evening not to be missed. Soul merchandisers and record dealers welcome. This is a strictly no-talc venue.
Hutchins, Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue.
There's Yvonne Baker. You didn't say a word. Yvonne Baker here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio, and you didn't say a word, which was the B-side to Prove My Love Is True, released on Parkway Records in March of 1967. The orchestration was supervised by Billy Jackson, arranged by Joe Renzetti, and it was Joe Renzetti, Gene Wells and Bilt Jackson that composed it. Now, I did mention and played you a little promo for the event at Kettering next year. We will be broadcasting it live on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Hopefully we'll have the cameras set up and a sort of boom microphone that can pick up the atmosphere as well. Last year, or this year, we broadcast Sue's birthday party from there. That went very well, but you couldn't quite get the atmosphere, so this time we're going to try and just take it one step further if we can. So if you can't make it on the night, and it's a big venue, it holds, I don't know if it's 300 or 350 people. There was 200 people in there for Sue's party. Didn't look empty. It's not that big. But there was, as I say, plenty of room, and it's absolutely going to be a fabulous night. And my special thanks to Steve O'Brien for organising all of this. This is the Ambassadors and Good Love Gone Bad. Yeah, the Ambassadors for you there on Atlantic Records. Good Love Gone Bad, released in March of 1968, arranged by Bobby Martin, composed by Jimmy Bishop and Kenny Gamble. We just squeeze one more in before we come to the end of hour one. Good afternoon, Dave Bransgrove. Here's Archie Bell and the Drells, You're Such a Beautiful Child. Yeah, that's the B-side to I Can't Stop Dancing on Atlantic Records from June 1968, 27th of September 68 here in the UK. That's our one done from Friday afternoon Soul Avenue here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
The current time is 3 p.m.
Welcome back to Friday afternoon Soul Avenue here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. I'm Bob Hutchins. Welcome along, and got a great second hour for you. Requests from Lardy and Barry Pallett this afternoon. Let me have a look. 18th of April next year, Michael. That event at Kettering for Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Let's get going with our two then. Here's the Magicians and Just a Little. That bit in brackets, Faith and Understanding. I don't want to play it. Try again. Nope, still don't want to play it. Okay, let's do it manually. There we go. Cracked it. Yeah, the Magicians and Faith and Understanding, released on Kent Records in 2004 on their 60th anniversary special, 25th, composed by Herbert Campbell and Frank J. Jones. This is Keep the Faith Internet Radio. It's the Hyperions and Why You Wanna Treat Me the Way You Do. That was the Hyperions on Friday afternoon Soul Avenue with Why You Wanna Treat Me the Way You Do, which was an A-side release on Chattahoochee Records from March of 1965, arranged by Perry Botkin Jr., composed by Booker T. Washington, Ethel Wells and Leonard Hoggains. And as far as I can tell, looking through the listings, that was the only record that group released. What a classic. Great production on that, I think. Anyway, you're listening to
Bob Hutchins, live on Keep the Faith in Internet Radio.
Hello?
Afternoon, Gov. Barry here, me old cocker. My 3 requests today are 1. The Premiers, Make It Me. 2. Eddie Giles, Losing Boy. And my 3rd one is Doris Allen, A Shell of a Woman, on Me Eds.
Here we go, 3 great tunes for Barry Pallett down there in Slough. That was the first of Barry Pallett's requests on Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue. The Premiers and Make It Me, an A-side on Stax Records, composed by David Porter and Isaac Hayes. No UK edition of that one. Number 2, it's Eddie Giles and Losing Boy. Yeah, I must admit, Barry, I do like a little bit of Eddie Giles. That was Losing Boy, released on Mirko Records in February of 1967, composed by Eddie himself, using his real name. No, it wasn't Edward, it was Albert W. Giles. You're listening to
Bob Hutchins, Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue, on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Now for Barry's 3rd one, Doris Allen,
You took my heart.
A Shell of a Woman. Yeah, 3 cracking requests for Barry Pallett down in Slough there. Yeah, definite boom for those, Barry. And if you enjoyed those, then tune in Sunday at 3 o'clock for Bob's Sunday Soul, because there'll be 3 more from Barry in hour 2. So that was Doris Allen and A Shell of a Woman, released on Minaret Records in 1969, produced by Finley Duncan, who co-composed it with Becky Bluefield and Lynn Brewer. She made some good beer as well, you know. Right, you're listening to This is Richard Barbary. Get Right. Yeah, Richard Barbary and Get Right. B-side to When Johnny Comes Marching Home, released by Spring Records in January 1968. It was produced by Harold Thomas, who co-composed it with Richard Barbary. I can see the light on. Hello? Answer the phone.
Hi up, me duck. Lottie here. It's a bit parky. I've been down the recce for a game. My 3 requests today are 1. LTNT Braggs, How Long Do You Hold On? 2. Jerry Butler, Never Give You Up. And my 3rd one is Robert Parker, Let's Go Baby, where the action is. Foxes for Division 1.
Kicking off Lottie's request with Jerry Butler, Never Give You. Jerry Butler and Never Give You Up, an A-side on Mercury Records, released in April of 1968, having been recorded in the February of that year at the Cameo Parkway Studios in Philadelphia. Composed by Jerry Butler himself, along with Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff.
Friday afternoon, Soul Avenue. On Keep the Faith, Internet Radio.
This is Robert Parker. Let's go, baby, where the action is.
Let's go, baby.
Well, for some reason, the systems are sort of booted out Lardy's request, so that's his first one. Robert Parker, Let's Go Baby, where the action is. NOLA Records, April 66. Here's Al TNT Braggs. How long do you hold on? Don't know where the Jerry Williams one came from. It put it in itself.
How long do you hold on? How long do you hold on? There's an old saying.
Oh, I know what happened there. We changed it, Lardy, didn't we? We got the three out in the end, and one of these for Lardy. Yeah. For some reason it dropped out TNT at the beginning, so I had to put it back in again. That was How Long, and in brackets, Do You Hold On, released on Peacock Records as the B-side to Earthquake. Released in June of 66, it was composed by Deirdre Malone and Al Braggs himself. The UK edition, that was released on the 29th of July 66 on the Vocalion label. Good afternoon to Michael Wittmann over there in Germany. You're listening to Friday Afternoon Soul Avenue. This is
Bob Hutchins.
Now this next record's dedicated to my wife and her ability to cook steaks. Buddy says still one of his favourites, that one, Donny Elbert and A Little Piece of Leather, released on Gateway Records in April 1965, composed by Elbert and Dallas, and came out on Sue Records here in the UK on the 4th of June 1965. Yeah, great artist, wasn't he? Donny Elbert, of course, got mistaken as a girl by Billboard magazine in the 50s when they reviewed one of his records. You're listening to
the station with the best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Keep the faith in the radio.
And now, two tunes from 1970 onwards.
Starting with this one from 1975, Sam Dees and Betty Swan, Just As Sure. Keep the Faith Internet Radio, that was Sam Dees and Betty Swan and Just As Sure. B-side to Storybook Tree Children, released on Big Tree Records from January 1975. Arranged by Tom Washington, it was composed by Barbara Acklin, and the UK edition released 9th of April 76 on Atlantic Records. Number 2, this one from 1985 is Al James and the New Rhythm Band, Give Me Up, Turn Me Loose. There you go, that was Al James and the New Rhythm Band here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Give Me Up, Turn Me Loose on Alosis Records. It was the B-side to Let's Get Into It, released in 1985, composed by Al James.
Turn me loose, give me up, girl. Turn me loose, give me up. I know that it's wrong to this one-way love to go on.
I just want to give you a rundown of some of the programs that are coming up later on here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Following me at 4 o'clock, it's Nutty Butty's Friday Drive Time Soul Show. followed at 6 by Terry Shaw. And then at 7 o'clock tonight, a change to the normal schedule. Mickey G still on holiday, and that slot's being covered this evening. An all-vinyl show hosted by Dave Bransgrove and his special guest Dave Dunnett. Friday Soul with the two Daves. That's at 7 o'clock this evening. You're listening to
Your day sounds better with
Keep the Faith Internet Radio, your home for great soul, Northern Soul, and Motown.
The best radio station on the planet.
Good afternoon to Ted Jackson down in Hornchurch. This is Zilla Mays. I Still Love You. Yeah, Zilla Mays and I Love You Still, released on 2C Records in February of 1968, produced by Marshall C. Horn and Alan Toussaint, arranged and composed by Alan Toussaint. 2C Records, of course, owned by Marshall and Alan.
Yes, you can call.
The Motown Double Play on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Starting with the Marvelettes and I Know Better. Here you go, the first of our two Motown tunes, the Marvelettes and I Know Better. Track 5 on the A-side of that album, called The Marvelettes, released on the 6th of March 67, composed by Norman Whitfield and Ardeen Taylor, released on the Tamla label in the US, UK, Tamla Motown, July of 67. This is the Supremes and Four Tops. I'm glad about it. Good afternoon, Soulful Sue. Good afternoon to Minnie in Switzerland. Welcome to the show.
But you walked into my life.
That was the Supremes and Four Tops here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. I'm glad about it. B-side to You Gotta Have Love in Your Heart, released on Motown Records, 11th of May 1971, composed by Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson. UK release 5th of November 1971. You're listening to
Bob Hutchins, Friday afternoon soul ride. On Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
This is Ed Townsend and Cherry Girl. Yeah, Ed Townsend and Cherry Gale, which was the name of his wife at the time, although she did eventually become his ex-wife. Released on Warner Brothers Records as the B-side to Dream World in February 1961. This is Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Cliff Noble's My Love is Getting Stronger.
Keep the Faith Internet Radio proudly presents an evening of Northern Soul and Motown on Saturday, the 18th of April, 2026, from 7 p.m. through to 12:30 at the Kettering Athletic Club, 104 Rockingham Road, Kettering, NN169AE. Your hosts are Marco Martinelli and Carl Boddington, with DJs Bob Hutchins, Steve O'Brien, Tommy Gunn, Andy Bebbington, Dave Bransgrove and Soulful Sue. Priced at just £6 on the door, this is an evening not to be missed. Soul merchandisers and record dealers welcome. This is a strictly no-talc venue.
Yeah, that's going to be a great night next year. So my final record of this afternoon's show, Cliff Noble's and My Love is Getting Stronger, initially released on JV Records sometime in 66 before going national on the Atlantic label in the October of that year. Don't think there was too much of a gap between it because it was copyrighted on the 20th of September 1965, composed by Jesse James. Well, sadly we've reached the end of another Friday Afternoon Soul Avenue here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Please stay tuned. Nutty Butty is up next, followed by Terry Shaw, and that's followed by the two Daves from Cornwall, Dave Bransgrove and Dave Dunnett. Big thank you to Lardy and Barry for some great requests this afternoon. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon for Soul on Saturday, as Fradders is away sunning himself. Enjoy the weekend, folks, and take in this great weather today. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Friday Afternoon Soul Avenue was a Bob Hutchins radio production for Keep the Faith Internet Radio.